interruption of my...
Are we ready? Good afternoon. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and RETHINK Real Estate with another exciting real estate update, episode number 22.
22.
All right.
22.
So good to see everybody today. Can't really see you, but
we know you're there.
We know you're there. In our hearts, we know you're there.
And we love the emails, comments, calls, texts
please,
that we
keep
get.
those coming.
Because it does encourage us to...
It does encourage us. And
we're out there listening.
And it provokes thought and discussion too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
You have a joke for us?
I do.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, me at 18, this radio station is playing my jams. Me at 25, this bar is playing my jams. Me now, this grocery store is playing my jams.
That's about right.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the progression of life.
Where were we just at that I was digging the music that we were hearing? What store were we in? Whatever it was awesome.
It was something playing at Sprouts, I think.
Yeah, maybe it was
like
Sprouts.
A Journey song playing at Sprouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to choose between eating tacos every day or being skinny the rest of your life, which shell would you choose, hard or soft?
Right. Crunchy! Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Good one.
All right, this week in history. 1972, the first issue of People magazine is published. 1965, civil rights leader Malcolm X is assassinated in New York City, 1965. And I know there's some recent controversy on this, and they're talking about reinvestigating it, or somebody is.
Yeah, which is odd.
I thought it was within his own organization that there was a upheaval, and
so maybe there's more to that conspiracy.
Yeah, or maybe there's more to that. Maybe there's a cover-up or something. I don't know. But anyway, 1896, the Tootsie Roll candy is introduced.
Yum! I love a Tootsie Roll.
Millions of those have been consumed.
Yes, that's true.
And other people have eaten some too. 1878, the first phone book with just 50 names is issued in New Haven, Connecticut. 1878.
I wish they'd stop making them now.
It was much easier to carry it to the recycling bin then
there
than
was
it
no
is
recycling
now.
bin.
I mean, you pick that thing up out of your driveway and carry it around, and man, you can pull a muscle.
Oh, they're only this big now.
Right.
Ours we used to get two of the big thick ones in the driveway, wherever they deliver them, then on the front porch, and then a small local one.
Right.
It was like this much stuff, and we saved them, and we used
if you
them
collected them for like 4
on
years.
our rotary dial phone.
Like the shelf would be like this.
Yes.
From holding 4 years worth of.
No, you took out the old, put in the new.
If I knew what day they were delivering it, I would just put the recycling can out there, and then the guy could just throw deposit phone books here, and the guy could just throw it in the phone. Anyway,
carry on.
1827, New Orleans holds its first Mardi Gras celebration.
So they're coming on 100 years.
Coming on 100 years, that'll be a big one.
Oh man, especially since they didn't get to have Mardi Gras this year.
Yeah, you're talking 200 years. That would be a huge one.
Yeah, 200 years. Yeah,
200. And then finally, 1630, Native Americans introduced the Pilgrims to popcorn.
Love popcorn too.
That is cool. That must have scared the whatever out of the first person that heated that up, and it went BAM! Whoa! What the heck?
I wonder what kind of oil they used.
Corn oil. Be my guess.
You think so?
Probably. Yeah. Okay. Economic news. Lumber woes. Framing lumber prices spiked a record $1,004 per 1,000 board feet last week. That's double the price from just 3 months ago.
Wow.
So that is really hurting starts a little bit.
Yeah.
Permits are roaring, but they're getting a little bit of struggle getting things
Yeah,
off
we
the
see
ground.
that in housing news. Permits are up.
Yep, housing and permits are soaring.
Soaring.
Despite low starts, building permits jumped by 10.4% in January, up a whopping 22.5% from January of last year. So, this is interesting. Print to Fit, a demo house in Calverton, New York, was recently constructed with a 3D printer, creating its entire frame,
Yeah.
including the footings, the foundation, the slab, and the walls.
I saw this. I saw a video on this, and it's concrete,
Mm-hmm.
and it took like a matter of hours to put this thing up.
You're kidding.
No, it was
I
incredible.
thought it was
And then-
like back and forth for
fast.
days.
It's back and forth, fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was the manpower that they had to use was very low in comparison, obviously.
It was a robot, right?
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
robot
it's like
doing
this
it?
robot arm. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
they're
crazy.
just feeding it the concrete, and
Yeah.
it's just following the computer program.
Yeah, and they're making sure there's no flaws or something. I don't know. The guys were inside, but
Hmm.
it was crazy. Yeah. Concrete house. I'm not sure about that.
Price of lumber keeps going up.
It's
you
true.
know?
Yeah. Gotta have something to fill the gap.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, big news this week is rate reality. Many lenders quoted rates last week as much as 1/3 of a point higher than the week previous. And we have some additional supplemental information from one of our mortgage professional partners, Melissa Vasilev of Bay Equity. You're likely going to be hearing chatter about rates quickly rising over the past few days, and we'll do our regular rate review, but yeah, you're going to see some increased numbers.
Yeah.
Rates have essentially returned to where they were pre-COVID, February 2020.
Right.
Driving
Which is low.
force.
It's very low.
Yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
The driving force behind this is simply inflation. Costco announced this week they're going to pay their employees a minimum wage of $16 per hour. You know,
Costco.
there's a big push by the federal government to make it nationwide that the $15 an hour
Minimum wage is $15.
minimum wage.
Yep.
So it's basically the cost of goods. Simply put, a company can't pay their employees a higher wage without passing that on to the consumer. That equals inflation. So,
Right.
so in summary, if inflation remains a concern, rates will continue to rise. Now, we're not talking about out of control and a giant sky. We're
We
talking
can't.
3.25% with
Right.
decent credit.
Yeah.
And so anyway, something to think about.
Alright, well, thank you,
If
Melissa,
you're,
for
if
that.
you're waiting, the rates are probably bottomed out right now, and they're probably going to
Yeah.
be creeping up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not crazy,
Not crazy.
but they're going to be going up just a little bit. So,
Yep.
okay, that's your week
Seen
in
that.
history and a review of this week's economic and housing news.
Regulatory news. Yep.
So we're going to take a few minutes to just touch briefly on this month's stat report. This will be for results for January, and we'll go through this fairly quickly. New inventory year over year decreased by 15.5%. Stands
Not
to
a
reason
surprise,
with what's
right?
going on. This one is jaw-dropping. Total inventory month over month decreased 3.3%, but year over year is down 41%.
41%.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's total inventory.
Yeah, that's
And we're gonna
major.
break down inventory levels a little bit here when
Yeah.
we get to Michael Orr's comment.
Yep.
So the average new list price is up 10%. However, the average sales price, and this is year over year, the average sales price is up 20.6%. You'll remember we previously discussed
We've been
that
talking about this.
the gurus are saying that we possibly could see 20% appreciation this year, while we're tracking right at it, 20.6%.
Right.
Let's go over this very quickly. For Tom Ruff's commentary this month, again, we hit the highest sales volume of any January in our history. We finished last year.
It was a busy January, that's for sure.
5 out of 6 months were records, and now we're starting the year right off the bat with a new record for this year.
Yep.
So that's 6 out of 7 records for the last 7 months.
7 months, yeah.
All beating our what once was believed to be untouchable numbers of the
2005.
pre-crash 2005. The current interest rate, and this is interesting because the current interest rate by the time when they were printing this or putting this report out, and I just printed it immediately this week when I received it, so things are changing very quickly this week.
Yeah.
Current interest rate for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is now 2.73 compared to 3.47 this time last year.
Ago.
So it's not a panic. We're
Right.
even still below. I mean, last year we were ecstatic because we had 3.47.
We're a little higher. We're at 3, but we're still not at 3.
Yeah, we're still incredibly low.
Which, when our parents were getting mortgages,
7% was
7%
gold,
was
man.
great.
If you could get 7%, you were really doing something.
3 is still amazing.
Yeah.
Anything in the 3s.
So, severe shortage of homes listed for sale. In February 2019, Armless was reporting only 18,131 homes. You remember we were whining like babies last year because it was 18,131 was all the homes we had. Same time this year, we had 4,488.
Well, that's actually a 24-month. So it's 2019
Oh, you're right.
So it's 24 months.
Yes, 24 months, you're right.
But year over year, you're right, we're less than 50%. This time last year, we had like 15,000.
Well, it was a 41, you remember from the previous graph, it was 41%
41%.
reduction from last year.
Yeah, it's almost 50%, yeah.
That puts it at 9,000 something.
Yeah.
So, 78% in 2 years we've dropped the number of available homes on average by 78%. That's, and Michael Orr's going to make a profound comment here.
We'll share these graphs too. They just have
but Julia will add these
big yellow lines decreasing
below, showing how dramatic it is when you can see it in the graph form. Michael Orr, the Cromford report, had this to say, difficult to describe the state of housing market in Greater Phoenix these days. Just quoting the raw facts makes people feel you are exaggerating wildly. There are those who seem to believe it cannot really be true when so many people are struggling with their daily lives, battling the worst pandemic we have seen for many decades. However, we can only continue to present the facts. The housing market is experiencing moderately strong demand, but this is not the important matter. Variations in demand are almost insignificant. This is because the supply of resale homes is so poor, it crashes below record lows almost every week.
Right, that's the real news.
Yeah.
The demand is still high. It has some variations, but what we have available is falling.
Right. New construction, unfortunately that is not going to be a savior for the inventory issue. It was not uncommon for newly built homes to account for 25 to 30% of all homes sold during any given year. This trend abruptly changed in 2007 during the crash.
Right.
Even with the number of new homes sold in Maricopa County increasing every year for 9 years. So since the recovery started, new home construction has started gearing back up, and every year they more and more and more, but it's not a light switch. It's a very slow moving.
Again, it's the container ship pulling in.
Yeah, it's not a speedboat.
Not a
It's
speedboat.
it's a container ship.
Yeah,
so
the change is very gradual.
yeah, that's a good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Moving up every for the past 9 years, only 14.6% of all homes sold in Maricopa County in January last month were new builds, half of prior decades. So we still have a long way to go before they even get back up to 2007.
Right.
So that's not going to be the answer.
No.
So that
it will be
is
part of the answer, part of the solution, but not the end-all be-all.
Yeah, that was a very, very brief summary of just touching base on a few of the stat highlights for last month. If you have questions specifically that you would like us to answer or research, please let us know.
We can do that.
In the comments below, or just reach out to us.
And wrapping up, tell us the rates.
Yeah, the rates, 30-year, I hate to read this number, it's 3.005. It's still fantastic.
Still a great rate.
But it's the first time we've seen over 3 in quite some time. But
weeks.
You know, we've got some things happening in the economy that every cause is an opposite reaction, right? So
yeah.
15 years, still well under 3, 2.404. VA, 2.613. Inventory, valley-wide. Interesting, we're at 4,566. At one point this week, very early in the week, right after the weekend, we were at 4,026. I thought we may slip under 4,000.
We were just waiting, bated
But then,
breaths,
agents have a tendency to do open houses. It's so common now for them to put in the remarks, no showings until our open house on Saturday. And then we're going to review all offers on Monday.
Right. So Saturday and Sunday you can look at the house, and then Monday you better have your offer in already by Sunday. Yeah.
So seeing that a lot.
You're seeing that a lot.
Peoria, 107. Not very much to look at in Peoria. Surprise, not much better, 125. Locally, Trilogy at Estancia, we have 7 homes. $450,000 up to $749,000.
That's easily like 1% of what we had last year, and then even less than what we've had in previous years. 10%. Yeah, 10%, not 1%. 10%. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was times, you know, when we
were
were in the middle of a recovery where I had 135 homes to choose from in Trilogy. And those days are so long gone.
Yeah.
Estancia Village, 2 homes. Price range $515,000 to $539,000.
That $539 is pretty sweet. We walked through it today.
Yeah.
Nice.
The only silver lining is both of those listings belong to the J. Patel Group.
Yeah.
Blackstone Country Club, 1 home.
1 home.
Bring your checkbook. $1,599,000.
Yeah.
Portobello has 3 homes. Price range $412,500 to $469,000. The interesting part about this is between the 3 homes, the total number of days on the market is 10. It's like 7, 2, and 1.
Right.
Or some combination. It's 10 days total between the 3 homes. So they're moving fast over in Portobello.
Yep.
Finally, Sun City Grand, 20 homes. This community has 9,800 homes in it. It's monstrous.
It's hard to believe, but 20 homes sounds pretty good right now.
20 homes.
I mean,
price range $275,000 to $839,000.
Yeah.
So not much to choose from there, but at least they have 20. So, okay, we buzzed through that pretty quick because we didn't want to make this excruciatingly long.
Right.
Hope you have a fantastic weekend.
Great
and
weekend,
we look forward to bringing you another real estate update next week. Have a great weekend.
Bye for now.
Take care. Foundation, the slab, and the walls.
It's concrete.
Yeah, all done with a 3D printer.
My doctor's coming. Hi, this is Julia.
That'll be it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Running through it.